Hey Salesforce family, welcome back to the show and welcome to part 3 of our AI and Africa mini series. Over the last 2 weeks, I think if you've been trekking with us, we have been exploring how African entrepreneurs are using AI to build against the odds and how AI might be a stronger first move than waiting for capital. But today, I want us to get real about a different kind of challenge. What happens when the internet, the very thing that AI depends on, is weak, expensive, and unreliable? That's why I'm folding my clothes, because today is a work. Because let's be honest, in tiny places across Africa, we still operate on 2G and 3G, where internet and data costs can be a serious barrier. But here's the little aspect. We are not here to make excuses. We are here to make innovation fit our realities. So today's episode is about this: how to build digital businesses and use AI in a way that works, even when the network doesn't. So let's get into it. Let's begin our journey. Now, let's start with the truth, the infrastructure gap and its impact. If you're in major cities like Nairobi, Accra, Lagos, or Joburg in South Africa, you might not feel the issue every day. But when you just move, let's say, 20 kilometers outside those cities, then you are now in the low signal zone, expensive mobile data areas. You'll experience network outages, and sometimes you might experience even old devices with low RAM, right? Now, think about building a startup in that environment. You can't really rely on real-time Zoom meetings, right? You can't assume everyone has Google Drive. You can push 100 MB of video ads on WhatsApp and expect maybe a good rate of return. You have to build lean, meaning you have to build light, build the edge cases, because here they are the norm. Like Facebook, they have Facebook Lite. Now, this is where the shift of the mindset is needed. Constraints don't block innovation, they actually just focus on it. Great African products often come from being deeply aware of the infrastructure realities and begin to work with them, not against them. Now, let me give you one simple example. The rise of WhatsApp commerce in East Africa and India, right? Why did it rise there? Why is it prevalent there? It's because everyone has WhatsApp. It works on 2G, it uses low data, and it's already a trusted platform among many African or developing world. So when like Gala build customer support bots or order flows directly into WhatsApp, they are not cutting corners, they are just cutting complexity. For your information, Gala is a startup in Tanzania that streamlines shipping via WhatsApp. So how to think like a low band innovator? The framework that I use here is, especially when building platforms like Scout Path Opportunities Hub right now, which has to work in areas with spotty connectivity. The first thing I do is design for the dumbest phone possible. Ask yourself, would this work with on a cheap Android with a cracked screen or no storage? Use SMS fallback options, optimize for dark mode and simple interfaces, and then try to skip the heavy design and try to focus on speed. The tooltip here is you can use unstructured AI prompts that generate copy fast for simple UIs and USSD menus. And then the second way you have to think is make your product offline first. Can users access core features without the internet? Can they cache results and synchronize later? Examples, we have a platform called Kiwix, which lets you access the entire Wikipedia offline and we have the aspect of progressive web apps, PWAs, where these feel like native apps, but they actually work offline. And the important aspect here is to just use frameworks like Bolt or Thunkable to build apps with low caching features paired with AI assistance for dynamic content. And now the third thing is to keep file sizes tiny. Compress everything, audio, try to compress everything. Let's say audio under 1 MB, images below 500 KB, and try to avoid the autoplay options. Because you can use tools like, let's say use Opus Clip light settings, you can use Tiny PNG or Squish for assets. You can generate text summaries instead of full PDFs using tools like TLDR this or ChatGPT. And then the fourth thing is use channels people already trust. Try to use channel. Let's say you don't need to build a new app if you don't need one. Sometimes the smartest products is an integration inside WhatsApp, Telegram, or even just SMS. For example, a WhatsApp chatbot that shares job alerts, a Telegram bot that summarizes blog content, or an SMS assistant for offline savings accounts. So we just have to use tools like, let's say, Twilio, Wati, or Meta's WhatsApp Cloud API for chatbot integrations. And then the fifth thing is to build for intermittent access. Remember that as tech across the continent is still improving, you have to assume that your users can't always stream content. They will download and watch later. They will need everything to be savable. So what you have to do, you have to just add, let's say, download buttons for your lessons. If you're providing lessons or online lessons, right? You have to just add download buttons. If you're providing video service, then you have to create like an auto resume features for videos. And then you have to also create an PDF exports for AI content or summaries, something like that. Now, let's bring AI back into the picture. You might be, that was too much anyways. That was too much tech talk in anyways. Now, you might be thinking, isn't AI all about cloud and real-time processing? Yes, but at the same time, you have to remember that it doesn't have to be online all the time, right? Here's how African entrepreneurs, I believe, can use AI in low connectivity areas. The first thing you can do is use AI to build offline products, generate lesson plans, SMS flows, or even audio scripts in ChatGPT, then send over to using to WhatsApp, and then try to build onboarding flows in ChatGPT, and then export to Google Docs, then distribute as offline PDFs. And then you can also use AI asynchronously. Hey, geez, what you have to do is try to run your AI processes when you're online, then share the output offline, right? And then you can try to create voice notes using many audio tools are there, like let's say 11 Labs or Descript and so on. And then you send these via Telegram, or you can use AI for internal support as well. Even if your customers can't access the but you can. So you have to use AI to handle back-end research, planning, content, and even strategy. But we have to remember that even in offline areas, your brain doesn't have to work alone. AI can still be part of your team. Here's a case study. As we build the path opportunities hub, we are always asking, and I like to give this as an example because it's something that practical. What if somebody using the hub only had 2G? What if they only had WhatsApp or Telegram? What if they only had 30 MBs of data per day? So these questions will eventually shaping everything. They are leading to us thinking modular. They are helping us focus on essential value. And they are now trying to see a way in which we can offer PDF downloads or compressed formats of content that we provide. And we also trying to build in layers, not just bloated dashboards and all that. And this are better for everyone so far, I think, not just low bandwidth users, because simplicity always scales. It always scales. So here's what I want you to do. You have to just try and audit your current product or business idea, and then ask, what would it work still in 2G? Will it work well still in 2G? And would someone in a rural area still benefit from your product? And then I think about, are you designing for the average user or just the urban city people, the urban elite, right? And then take one step to optimize your or something. Reduce file sizes, use a similar platform, and remove just one single layer of complexity. And then you can tag me at Emmanuel Saitoti, and when you do create a platform, tag me. And then let's try to just build solutions that reach people. Next week in part 4 of AI times Africa, we are going to lift our heads a little bit, where we're going to see how Africa is leapfrogging, solving African problems in ways. Because we are not just catching up, we are actually skipping some steps. From healthcare to education to logistics, we'll try to explore how African innovators are using AI to jump ahead of the legacy system, and why we don't need to mimic the West to win. But until then, I hope that you stay lean, stay local, and stay self-seated. Let's continue building, let's continue learning, improving ourselves.